Hey guys, today's a little different. I know everyone's busy and stressed out with recent balance changes and all. As I always explain in my streams, that mechanical skills are the most important factor in this game. I think most people are already aware, but just in case people may not know, I will share some of the cool mechanical skills this game offers. Also, I wanted to stress out that better mechanical skills come into play is a huge factor to your DPS, which you can actually get MVP with a weaker build if you're good at the game. Let's go over some of the basic mechanics first. Spacebars. Your spacebar is the most important passive skill in the game. Great and best players utilize their spacebars differently. This is also one reason why War Dancer is one of the top tier classes in the game due to her spacebar being under 3-second cooldown with a specific build. To explain the basics of the spacebar maneuver, you're CC immune during this phase, so think of it as an iframe in a Souls game. You still take damage though. We call this super armor, and some skills do have them as tripods like Gunslinger's Deathfire or Bard's Rhapsody of Light. This is very important because in the future, Lostark will have more harsh gimmicks where it will cost your life most of the time. So instead of incoming damage, getting knocked down is usually the worst case scenario. I'm also pretty sure you guys have experience being knocked down and comboed to death due to your getting up spacebars on cooldown. Basically, the more inexperienced you are, you will spend more time on the floor, therefore not being able to do the DPS you need. Spacebar is often also used as animation cancels. When you're locked in an animation, you can maneuver yourself out to safety. Not only that, great players also utilize a spacebar to quickly squeeze in more DPS skills in a tight spot. Let's go over some examples. As long as you know which timing the boss does its gimmick, a right time spacebar can ignore it. For example, the skip I usually do on my Valton bus runs. At Valton Gate 1, Boss Lugaru does a grab mechanic where he requires the team to stagger him to avoid a team wipe. You can use a spacebar to dodge this completely. Spacebar is also used every time you think you're getting hit by a huge AoE, because getting hit is way better than being knocked down as well. So it is often smarter to maneuver yourself by walking around and use a spacebar as a last resort. As for animation cancels, there are skills with huge after animation. Destroy is a good example because he is often animation locked the longest. This is important because most synergy buffs are a few seconds long. Imagine you can squeeze in 4 skills instead of 3 in a bar 3 bubble buff. This difference stacks in overall DPS. Speaking of animation cancels, casting skill also works. For example, Sorks can cancel out after animation by casting the next skill a little bit earlier. This is crucial for ignition because you want to squeeze in as many skills as possible during igniter buff. Also for War Dancer and Strikers, they have the skill called Sleeping Ascent. If you have the windmill tripod, you can cancel yourself out of the last animation to create a flashy play to catch the Guardian's backs. It is not a mandatory thing, but I think it's really important to know that there are tons of mechanics ready for you other than just min-max builds to increase your DPS potential. It is important to test out your characters out in Trixion to find out your combos. This will often increase your overall DPS more. Second topic, let's talk about super armors more. As mentioned above, instead of spacebar, there are super armor skills. It is often in tripods with shield mark on them. Not all classes have it, but you must find out which skills are your super armor skills. For example, Gunslinger has 2, Deathfire and Catastrophe, Burst and Deathblade, Dragon Ascent and Scrapper, and Transformation Animation for Shadowhunter and Scouter. Also, your awakening skills are super armor as well. So if your awakening skill doesn't contribute the major DPS, better players tend to save their awakening for this kind of situation. Again, it is often better to not get knocked down than getting hit. The time you're on the floor if knocked down twice is much longer than you think. So it is really crucial to get into a habit of utilizing your super armor skills. Also, when Valton comes out in the future, knockouts often will kill you through stage knockouts. If you practice your super armor skills and maneuvering, you will definitely increase your survivability by a huge factor. On a third side topic, there's another form of cancel, but I'm pretty sure this could be patched in the future. If you happen to be in a tough spot where you're casting your awakening when a boss is about to do an instant kill mechanic on you, like a Sophist's awakening, you can actually utilize your pet to cancel out of everything. You summon your pet window and press repair and escape twice. I'm assuming this is a bug related mechanic, so I don't use it as much, but some Koreans are using it now because it prevents them from dying, and I can't see why not. So this covers most of my big mechanics that increase my survivability, which is also often ends up being a huge DPS increase where it allows me to take MVPs with less build specs. While everyone's really stressed out about the balance patches these days, let's not forget that this game is really mechanically challenging and satisfying to play, where better mechanical players tend to get MVP most of the time. With that being said, this concludes the video. As always, thanks again guys. Bye!